So instead of going for, though my presentation is there, but instead of going for presentation, I like to talk about my experience and how things have come in rural. One thing you must have heard about when Sir was, of course, there, when STD booths had started. How many of you remember the start of STD booth? That time, for getting a STD call, people used to think of. But when STD booth started, it started spreading. There was really demand, really people have started coming up. And that time only, there was some development. Our CDOT had developed some rural exchanges, and we took electronic exchanges to the rural places. We increased our presence, and the STD booth had brought a real growth in the economy. People have seen that telecom bringing growth in the society, then society bringing growth in the telecom. And as Sir was telling, it was 1%, initially we used to calculate on 1,000. Per 1,000, how many telecom connection is there? Then it came to 100, and now we are crossing the population, the number of connections. So that time we have seen how initially it was costly things. People used to think, itna call kyun, itna paisa lagega. Then people used to queue when in the night time 1/4 rate and other things, people used to queue up. Slowly, when telecom was liberalized and cost started coming down. Of course, there are thoughts whether cost has come down because of BSNL or because of competition. It is really the competition which has brought the cost. But of course, to stabilize it, that private should not exploit the people, BSNL has been also maintaining some level of that. But overall, because of competition only, and because of competition and opening up the this one, new technology has come. I had the opportunity to work when manual exchange was there, when they used to say number please. I don't know any of you know about that or not. Then there was crossbar, Stauser crossbar, analog E10B and all. Now, of course, soft switches are there. And as Sir told, we are, of course, BSNL is still to give 4G or 5G, but already we are ready with 4G, and 5G also will be coming soon. And we are talking about 6G. Telecom, one experience what I wanted to share actually, when I was in last 5 years, I worked as a CGM in Jharkhand Circle. And of course, Telangana also had received government initiative was there for the left-wing extremism areas, LWE. I don't know how many of you might have heard about the LWE towers. So Telangana got a lot of, this one is Telangana also, but Jharkhand was the highest. And when I had joined, there was a lot of bureaucratic hurdles in really implementation of that. And I had the opportunity, we talked to many people. Initially, there was resistance from the extremism groups. People used to fear how it will be installed or not, how much will be the revenue and all. And by the time we have completed, revenue has increased so much. Of course, Jharkhand got many times award also for telecom growth, what we used to calculate in our inside the BSNL. So we have seen by the time these LW towers are installed and people have communicated, now those areas have become more comfortable. Even extremists may also may be using our telecom service, but those areas have now, even private companies are willing to install their racks, towers there. And we can go to even further rural areas also. So what actually I was trying to, Madam was telling about skilling, and Sir was telling about that security, and of course, Chowdary Sahab has already initially has given all the calculation how a support is required to really start the things, and then later people become more sustainable. So even I'm doing one research on this one for a PhD course on how it can be made viable. Everybody talks about taking telecom to the rural, but nobody is taking really telecom to the rural in the willingly. Then we have to either put as a condition, as it has been kept in the Telecom Commission rules, and for that people you are willing to pay the money, but they are not taking to the real rural areas. And now, as I said, we are going to have a satellite-based almost full coverage of all the difficult areas and rural areas. We are very hopeful that telecom will reach each and every corner. It has to have some support, some CSR way or in the government support, whatever way is there. Initially, support is required, but it has got potential to become self-sustaining in a very short time to come. So that way, I just want to wish that I was told take the telecom to the rural or difficult areas. It will reach because of its own potential, but there is required, support is required from government or corporates, and that is going on. So thank you for giving me opportunity, sir, to speak.